What's up, legends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the saga of one of gaming's most iconic and tragic figures, a story of rage, betrayal, and a relentless quest for vengeance. That's right, we're talking about the Ghost of Sparta himself, Kratos. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's unravel the epic journey that forged a mortal into a god of war. Our story begins not with a god, but with a man. Kratos was a respected and feared captain of the Spartan army. He was a brilliant strategist, a ruthless warrior, and he led his men to countless victories. He was a force of nature on the battlefield, but even the mightiest can fall. In a desperate battle against a barbarian horde from the east, Kratos and his army were on the brink of total annihilation. The barbarian king was about to land the final fatal blow. Facing his own demise, Kratos cried out in desperation, not to any god, but to the one he knew was most brutal and effective. Ares, the god of war. "Ares, destroy my enemies and my life is yours!" he bellowed. Ares heard his plea. The sky tore open, and the god of war descended, granting Kratos unimaginable power and binding the legendary blades of chaos to his arms with searing chains. With this newfound strength, Kratos not only defeated the barbarian king, but obliterated his entire army. He had become the champion of Ares. For years, Kratos served Ares faithfully, a living weapon of destruction, leaving a trail of chaos across the land in his god's name. But Ares had a twisted plan. He wanted to mold Kratos into the perfect, unfeeling warrior. To sever his final ties to humanity, Ares tricked Kratos into a fateful raid on a village that worshipped Athena. Blinded by battle lust, Kratos slaughtered everyone inside the village temple, only to realize in the horrifying aftermath that he had just killed his own wife and daughter, who Ares had secretly transported there. The temple burned, and the ashes of his family were cursed by the village oracle to forever cling to his skin, turning him a ghostly white. From that day on, he was known as the Ghost of Sparta, a marked man haunted by his past, and consumed by an unquenchable thirst for revenge against the god who had betrayed him. For 10 long years he served the other gods of Olympus, hoping they would grant him the one thing he craved: freedom from his nightmares. Finally, Athena offered him a path to redemption and vengeance. His mission? Kill Ares, who was now laying siege to Athens, a move forbidden by Zeus. To kill a god, Kratos needed the power of a god. Athena guided him to Pandora's box, a mythical artifact with the power to grant godlike strength. After a grueling journey through the desert of lost souls, carrying a massive temple on his back, Kratos found the box. But just as he claimed it, Ares, learning of his plan, hurled a colossal stone pillar from Athens, impaling Kratos and sending him to the underworld. But death couldn't hold Kratos. Fueled by sheer rage, he fought his way out of Hades, returned to Athens, and finally opened Pandora's box. Growing to a colossal size, he faced Ares in a cataclysmic battle. In the end, using a giant stone sword from a statue of Athena, Kratos did the impossible. He killed the god of war. For his service, Athena elevated him. Kratos, the mortal Spartan, ascended to Olympus, took Ares' vacant throne, and became the new god of war. You'd think that would be the end of the story, right? A happy ending? Not for Kratos. As the new god of war, his methods were even more brutal than his predecessors. He led his Spartan armies on a rampage of conquest, sowing destruction wherever they went. The other gods, especially Zeus, the king of Olympus, grew fearful and resentful of his power and his uncontrollable rage. They saw him not as a fellow god, but as a ticking time bomb. The breaking point came when Kratos descended to the city of Rhodes to personally aid his Spartan army. Zeus, under the guise of helping him, tricked Kratos into pouring all of his godly power into the Blade of Olympus, a magnificent sword forged to end the great Titan War. This made Kratos mortal once again, vulnerable. Seizing the opportunity, Zeus revealed his betrayal. He brought a giant statue, the Colossus of Rhodes, to life to crush Kratos. Though Kratos defeated the statue, he was mortally wounded in the process. As Kratos lay dying, Zeus appeared before him, holding the Blade of Olympus. He offered Kratos one last chance: serve him faithfully. Kratos, defiant to the last, refused. With a final, chilling statement, "You will never be the ruler of Olympus," Zeus plunged the blade into Kratos' chest, killing him and wiping out his Spartan army. Once again, Kratos was sent to the underworld, but this time was different. This time his target wasn't a lesser god, it was the king of the gods himself. In the underworld, Kratos was rescued by the Titan, Gaia. She revealed a hidden history. The Titans were the original rulers, betrayed and imprisoned by their children, the Olympians, led by Zeus. She told Kratos that he too was a son of Zeus, and that his fate was always to be destroyed by his own father, just as Zeus had destroyed his own father, Kronos. A cycle of patricide. Gaia offered Kratos the power to change his fate. He would climb back from Hades, find the Sisters of Fate, and rewrite his own destiny. His journey was incredible. He rode the mythical Pegasus, battled countless heroes and monsters, and finally reached the island of creation. There he confronted the Sisters of Fate themselves, who controlled the loom of destiny for every mortal, god, and titan. They refused to help him, stating his destiny was sealed. So Kratos did what Kratos does best. He fought destiny itself. He killed the sisters and seized control of the loom of fate, allowing him to travel back in time. He returned to the exact moment of Zeus's betrayal in Rhodes. As Zeus was about to deliver the final blow, Kratos, now empowered, intercepted him. An epic battle ensued, spanning across the island. Just as Kratos was about to end Zeus, Athena intervened, sacrificing herself to save her father. With her dying breath, she confirmed Gaia's revelation. Kratos was indeed Zeus's son, and Zeus feared Kratos would usurp him, perpetuating the cycle. Furious and armed with the truth, Kratos used the loom of fate one last time. He traveled back to the end of the Great Titan War, pulling Gaia and the other Titans from their ancient defeat and bringing them into his present time. The final scene is one of the most epic in gaming history. Kratos standing on Gaia's shoulder as she and the other Titans scale the colossal Mount Olympus. He looks up at the peak where Zeus and the remaining Olympians await and roars, "Zeus, your son has returned! I bring the destruction of Olympus!" The Great War had begun. And that, my friends, is the incredible blood-soaked saga of how Kratos rose, was betrayed, and set himself on a collision course with the very gods who made him. What a ride! It's a timeless story of vengeance and the tragic consequences of unchecked power. Thank you so much for joining me on this epic journey today. If you enjoyed this deep dive, do me a huge favor and smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more legendary gaming stories. Let me know in the comments what you think of Kratos' story. Until next time, stay legendary.